Shalom. I want to give all the praise, all the glory, all the honor unto Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Merkakwadash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also want to acknowledge all the Akyam who are pushing the truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. All right, this is Shabai from the GMS Denver, and through the Spirit today I'm going to bring out Zephaniah, the 3rd chapter. All right, and it initially starts out talking about Jerusalem. All right, and Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. It's dealing with the Israelites. So without further ado, let's read. Woe to her that is filthy and polluted, to the oppressing city. All right. And you, at first glance, you might think this is talking about Babylon, America, but it's actually talking about Jerusalem. All right, because our people are filthy and polluted. All right, and remember, Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. Verse 2, she obeyed not the voice, she received not correction, she trusted not in Yahawah, she drew not near to her power. All right, and that shows you right there that it's not talking about Babylon, because the Most High Yahawah is not he's not the God of Babylon. Okay, he's the power, the God of Jerusalem, of Israel. So it says she drew not near to her power, and that's the Israelites. They don't receive correction. They don't trust in Yahawah. Instead they go off. They go into all these other belief systems, all these other doctrines, chasing after the gods of the heathen, so on and so forth. Verse 3, her princes within her are roaring lions, her judges are evening wolves. They gnaw not the bones till the morrow. All right, just talking about the leadership of Israel. All right, which right now we're in a time where the Most High Yahawah, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, is waking up the leadership, right? Starting out with the prophets, okay? So verse 4, her prophets are light and treacherous persons, her priests have polluted the sanctuary, they have done violence to the law. Again, talking about Israel, and this is pre-Yahweh Shai, all right? Zephaniah, this chapter, this book is pre-Yahweh Shai. It's in the Old Testament. So Yahweh Shai is the one who restored Israel by going up on that cross and becoming that sacrificial lamb, that perfect sacrifice, which brought us back into the fold. But there was a time where the prophets were treacherous, like we read here in verse 5. The just Lord is in the midst thereof, he will not do iniquity, every morning doth he bring his judgment to light, he faileth not, but the unjust knoweth no shame. All right, and ain't that the truth? Yahawah is bringing judgment to light every single day, every single morning. Every day you hear about judgment in the news. I just saw a story, since we're talking about judgment, and every morning doth he bring judgment to light. I was on YouTube a couple days ago, and a story popped up about this kid who was shot in the head, 16 years old, by one of his friends, is what they say in the story. But I started to watch the story and dug a little deeper, and lo and behold, I recognized the kid, and the kid's mom was talking on the news, and I had sold her a life insurance policy, back in the day, probably, I don't know, maybe 8 years ago, 7 years ago. And I don't remember if I sold her a life insurance policy if she bought it for her kids. But the thing is she basically, she was right there on the news, man, crying, talking about how this should have never happened. This could never be. But that's that's Yahawah. Yahawah brings that judgment. He brings judgment every morning. It says here in verse 5. right? And you got these pagan Christians and these unlearned Israelites, and they don't understand where this the judgment comes from. But the Lord's prophets, we understand his judgment. All right? And we understand that Yahawah is the one who kills and makes alive, right? It tells you that in Deuteronomy 32 and 39. It says, "See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no power with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand." All right? So when that happened to that kid, well, guess what? Yahawah was the one who allowed that to happen, though. Yahawah was the one who ordained that her son to get shot in the head. All right, you pagan Christians, you guys don't understand the judgment of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Also, the nations, the heathen, you don't understand the judgment of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right, it says right here, Psalm 147 and 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. So who does he show his judgments to? Is to Israelites, starting out with his prophets. Verse 20, he hath not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye Yahawah. All right? So you people don't understand. You're like, oh, the devil got into this boy that shot him in the head and this and that, and they can't understand why somebody would do this and why somebody would do that. That's what the mom was saying, on the news. Oh, I don't understand how you could shoot your friend and da-da-da-da-da. Well, first of all, he was hanging out with the wrong crowd, and basically it was ordained that death, that judgment, it was ordained by Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai. All right, and that's why we're in a time of judgment. And let me read that again, that Zephaniah 3 and 5. It says, "The just Lord is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. Every morning doth he bring his judgment to light. He faileth not, but the unjust knoweth no shame." Right? So every single day, Yahawah is bringing out judgment. This is one reason why we're supposed to fear Yahawah B'Hashem Yahushai. All right? But everybody wants to run around talking about they love God, which his name is Yahawah. But you people want to run around talking about, oh, I love God. God's so good. Well, guess what? Yahawah brings judgment. Every morning, his judgment comes to the light. So you need to learn how to fear Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai instead of just loving them all the time. And your love, it's not proper. It's not in the way it should be. Let's see. Let me get this real quick. Matthew 15 and 8. It says, this Yahushua, it says, "This people draweth nigh unto me with their mouth, and honoreth me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. But in vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men." So what this is saying is Yahushua speaking. He's saying, yeah, people honor, they honor the Father and the Son with their mouth, but their mind, which your heart is your mind, is way off. The mindset, the mentality, the understanding of Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai is far from you people, right? That's why you can't sit there and use, oh, I can't understand why this would happen. Well, you should. If you knew how to turn away from wickedness, if you know how to nip wickedness in the bud, then guess what? Maybe the judgment wouldn't come near you. You see, it says in verse 9, "But in vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men." Yeah, you're too busy pushing that white Jesus and that calling the Most High God instead of Yahawah. That's a vain doctrine. Those are vain commandments. Vain means useless. All right? Where was Jesus when Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai brought judgment that day? You see? And this is the thing about our people, man. You need to come into this mindset, which is a truth mindset, a truth-based mindset, not some fairy tale, watered down bullshit doctrine that the so-called white man teaches you. You see, and even the because I had a chance to look at the they did like a what they call it. I think it's like a balloon ceremony where they release balloons into the sky, and the balloons that they released into the sky was dealing with for the kid that died, the 16-year-old, and they named him Envy, right? So, and that's all I'll say is that name. I'm not gonna say the last name and everything like that, but the kid's name was Envy, and he got shot in the head. This was 2 Mondays ago. I think the date was February 10th. And, when his mom went and did the balloon release, and guess what the biggest balloon was? It was in the shape of a rosary. You had a bunch of balloons attached together with a Christian cross, pagan Christian cross. And so that's what Yahawah is talking about. You worship in vain. Your worship is useless. You don't worship Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai. If you worship Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai, guess what? You have a hedge around you. All right, and you may have had some protection. Your son may have had some protection if you were coming in the right spirit, but instead these people were coming in that spirit of, well, I'm not sure what their spiritual life is like, but definitely wasn't in the mold of Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai, right? Especially with them, sending a big ass rosary into the sky, made up of balloons, all right, with the pagan Roman Christian cross, But our people are stubborn, they're hard-headed, unlearned. They have a zeal, but not according to knowledge, right? Let's grab that real quick. Romans 10:2. It says, "For I bear them record that they have a zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge." Right. So a zeal means passion. So our people are by nature they're spiritual, right? They have a passion of the Most High, but it's not according to knowledge, right? And we're in 2025. We're in the last days, and for you to still be, setting up rosaries and sending them into the sky for your deceased son. This shows that you don't worship the Most High according to knowledge. As we know through the Spirit and the power that the true names are Yahawah the Father and Yahawah Shai the Son. Right? And I'm just being honest. If those people would have been, in the spirit of Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai, their son might still be here. All right? But our people, they worship according to the commandments of men, like we read earlier. All right, so let's get back to Zephaniah 3 and 6. It says, "I have cut off the nations, their towers are desolate. I made their streets waste, and none passeth by. Their cities are destroyed, so that there is no man, and there is none inhabitant." All right, and again, talking about Jerusalem, because the heathen basically destroyed Jerusalem and took over. Right, it was under siege. And let's read verse 7. "I said, surely thou wilt fear me, thou wilt receive instruction, so their dwelling should not be cut off. Howsoever I punished them, but they rose early and corrupted all their doings." Okay? And, let me see. That's our people. They won't receive instruction. You try to teach them the truth, and they what do they tell you? I'm gonna worship Jesus Christ. That's how our people, they'll tell us things like that. We give them the true names, and they'll turn around and mock and scoff and say, you know what, I'm the only God I'm worshiping is Jesus Christ. They say stuff like that, and that's a corrupt thing to do, but if you're not in the know and you're just some, two-third ass, if you're just some two-third ass Israelite, guess what? You're not going to receive the truth, and you're not going to have a hedge. You're not going to have protection. Verse 8. Therefore wait ye upon me, saith Yahawah, until the day that I rise up to the prey, for my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. And remember, the Israelites are scattered in all the nations, all right? So you're going to have, and you're going to have nuclear fire, that's going to be sent out to the ends of the world, right? It tells you that in 2nd Ezra chapter 16. That's what that devoured with fire of Yahweh's jealousy. And he's a jealous power. So if you're calling on the wrong names, well, just like let's say you were a woman, you have a jealous husband, and your husband his name is Larry, and you calling him Harry, well, motherfucking Larry's gonna get pissed off, because that's how much more Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai. You see? And Yahawah's gonna pour his indignation, like it tells you right here. And guess what? Guess where the elect are gonna be while that indignation happens? Let me see. Isaiah, is it 20 and 24? No, 26 and 20. Yeah. This is where we will be, Lord's willing. I'm in that number. It says Isaiah 26 and 20. And this is when that nuclear fire is happening. It says, come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers. Talking about the chamber, the inside of that, what you call a UFO. Because the elect are going to get brought up into the chariots during the nuclear war, during the nuclear fire. All right, and it's the world ignorantly calls the chariots UFOs, but we know through the Holy Spirit that those are the chariots of Israel. Those are the vessels of salvation for the nation of Israel, for the elect, the 1/3 of Israel that repents and comes into the fold and believes the prophet's report of Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai. Okay? So let's read this. Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and shut thy doors about thee. Shut the door of the chariot. Hide thyself as if it were for a little moment, until the indignation be overpast. All right? And then verse 21. For behold, and that's the indignation, right? We're going to hide while the indignation pass. And where are we going to hide? We're going to be in that chariot, hidden, protected, in that new body, because our bodies will change as we go up, as we get saved, as we receive salvation. Our bodies are going to be changed in a twinkling of an eye. It tells you that in, I believe it's 1 Corinthians 15, towards the end of the chapter. It says, for behold, Yahawah cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. So where is Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai coming out of their place from? From the heavens. All right, so if you're of the elect, you're gonna go up in what you call a UFO, a chariot. All right, and that's where those. That's why it says for behold means observe. It says for observe, Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. Because the reason why it says he's going to punish them, because not only is there going to be nuclear fire, but those chariots are a double-edged sword. You have on one end, the chariots are going to save the elect by beaming them up in those the laser beams that that they show you in the movie when the UFO has a beam coming out of the chamber. So it's going to the elect are going to be beamed up, while the wicked and the unrighteous and the 2/3 of Israel, the wicked portion of our people, and also all the heathen, are going to be burnt up with nuclear fire and also chariot fire. Because, like I said, they're a double-edged sword. They have those what you call UFOs. You ignorantly call the chariots UFOs. Those are they have two purposes. They have the ability to shoot chariot fire at you and burn you up, or they have ability to save you and beam you up for into salvation, where we're gonna hide, like what it says, hide thyself as if it were for a moment until the indignation be overpassed. All right, and it says, let's keep reading. For behold, Yahawah Bashem Yahushai cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity, and the earth also shall disclose her blood, and shall no more cover her slain. Right. So you're gonna the wicked, the 2/3, the heathen, are gonna get punished for their iniquity, while the elect are gonna be in that chariot safe and sound until the indignation passes. All right, let's go back to Zephaniah 3. And I'm at verse 9. It says, for then will I turn to the people a pure language, that they may all call upon the name of Yahawah to serve him with one consent. So the pure language is going to be in the Hebrew. And we know the true names are Yahawah the Father, Yahawah Shai the Son. And that's that pure language that everyone's going to know in that day. And when the kingdom is established, guess what? Everybody's going to be raised up in righteousness, and everyone will learn the true names. Verse 10. From beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, my suppliants, even the daughter of my dispersed, who are the dispersed, or the Israelites, shall bring mine offering. So it's saying, after the indignation passes, after the destruction, after the basically what you call the end of the world, you're going to have all the nations bringing offerings to Yahawah Bashem Yahushai. And it's because everybody's going to follow the laws, the statutes. Everybody's going to know that there's not multiple gods. They're going to know that there's only one power, and his name is Yahawah. All right? 11. In that day shalt thou not be ashamed for all thy doings, wherein thou hast transgressed against me, for then I will take away out of the midst of thee that rejoice in thy pride, and thou shalt no more be haughty because of my holy mountain. So in that day, everybody's going to be righteous. The heathen are going to, I guess I shouldn't say everybody, because the heathen are still going to be the heathen, but they're going to be more righteous than they are right now. Because why? Because they're going to be under the laws of Yahawah Bashem Yahushai. They're going to be subjects to the Israelites. The Israelites are going to be the ruling nation, and that's what that holy mountain is talking about, because the mountain always goes back to governments. The holy government, the holy mountain is the nation of Israel. You see? And no one's going to be proud up against us, because they're going to know better. But guess what? People are going to thrive, even the heathen. Even the heathen are going to have longer lives. They're not going to be eternal and immortal like the Israelites, but they are going to have, you read about in the scriptures when they were living to like 300, 400, 500, 900 years old. The heathen if they're righteous, hey, you could have a heathen in the kingdom. And remember, the heathen word means nation, and those are the nations outside of the Israelites. Those people have a shot at living extremely long lives in the kingdom, and the reason is because they're going to be keeping the laws. The law brings life. The laws extends your life, even as a heathen. And remember, the heathen will be following the laws of Yahawah Bashem Yahushai, right? Let's get that. I think it's Isaiah 60. It says, let me see. Okay, yeah. I'll read Isaiah 60 and 11. It says, "Therefore, thy gates shall be open continually, they shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought." Because the Gentiles, which are going to be the Gentiles of the heathen, they're going to constantly bring in gifts to the Israelites. It's going to be like an honor for them to bring you so-called Black, Latino, and Native Americans gifts, because you're going to be that holy mountain, that ruling dominion, that ruling nation. It says in verse 12, "For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yeah, those nations shall be utterly wasted." All right. So if they don't get in line, guess what? They're going to perish. That nation will perish. Which, we know through the Spirit and through prophecy that the Edomites, they're gonna be in the kingdom. They're allowed 1,000 years in the kingdom, and then they're going to perish. They're going to be eradicated. The house of Esau will be no more. All right, according to biblical prophecy. But that's a whole nother lesson. I'm just trying to prove to you and show you that the kingdoms will be in line. They're going to ask to learn the ways of Yahawah Bashem Yahushai, and they're going to realize that, hey, this is the way, this is the true light. Let's get this real quick. Through the Spirit, just came to my head. Proverbs 29 and 2. It says, "When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn." You see that? So when we rule, the Israelites, the Israelites are ruling, where the holy mountain has dominion over the planet Earth. That's what it says. When the righteous are in authority, the people are going to rejoice. And why is that? Because, like I said, they're going to have longer lives. Everyone's going to keep the laws. All the other heathen nations are going to be asking to learn the laws, the statutes, the commandments from the Israelites. It says, "But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn." Okay? So right now, that's why you have everybody in a low state of, this society is a wicked, low state of the mindset of the people. The people are in gross darkness. People are suffering. People are, homeless. America's getting ready to be a third world country, and it's because why? The wicked are bearing rule right now. And that's why the people mourn. But when we have the power, when we are the ones, the leadership of the planet Earth, and when I say we, I'm talking about the Israelites, guess what? The people are going to rejoice, even the heathen. All right? So let's go back to Zephaniah. Zephaniah 3. And it says, verse 12, "I will also leave in the midst of thee an afflicted and poor people, and they shall trust in the name of Yahawah." Everybody's going to trust in those names. "The remnant of Israel shall not do iniquity nor speak lies, neither shall a deceitful tongue be found in their mouth, for they shall feed and lie down, and none shall make them afraid." Right, because the Israelites are gonna be we're gonna have that perfect spirit, perfect bodies. We're gonna be the rulers of the earth, and Yahawah it's gonna be impossible for an Israelite to sin, with the future of Jerusalem, with the kingdom. You won't be able to sin as an Israelite. Every Israelite is going to be righteous. Even the 2/3 are going to be righteous in the kingdom. Because why? They're going to be, first of all, they're Israelites. Second of all, they're going to be brought up in all the laws and statutes and commandments, right? Let me see if I can get this. Let's see. No, that's not what I'm looking for. All right, moving on. So we're at Zephaniah 3 and verse 14, it says, oh yeah, I'll read that last part. It says, and none shall make them afraid. Because the Israelites are never going to be afraid. Because why? We're going to be we're going to have those eternal bodies. We're not going to have the heathen are not going to be a threat to Israel. The outside nations that are outside of Israel, they're not going to be a threat to us. All right, and they're going to know better than to come against us, because they're going to look at us, well, because we're gods, and so they're not going to be in that God eternal immortal state of that they're not going to have the same power as the Israelites. So they're going to know better than to even try to mess with Israel. You see, verse 14, sing, O daughter of Zion, shout, O Israel, be glad and rejoice with all the heart, O daughter of Jerusalem. Right, with all your mind, with all your heart and mind, we're going to be singing. Because why? Because these prophecies are going to be coming to pass. We're going to be immortals, 15, Yahawah hath taken away thy judgments, he hath cast out thine enemy, the King of Israel, even Yahawah is in the midst of thee, thou shalt not see evil anymore. And evil means bad times. So during the kingdom, hey man, everything's going to be just fine for the Israelites. We're going to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments. The heathen nations are going to, they're going to beg for us to teach them the ways and the statutes and the commandments and the ways of Yahawah Bashem Yahushai. And that's what everything's going to be based on. All right. So, but us, we don't have to worry about no evil. And again, the word evil, literally, the etymology breaks down to bad time. Eve meaning bad, ill meaning, Eve meaning time, ill meaning bad. So there's not going to be no bad times for the Israelites anymore. This is us. We're drinking of the cup right now, the wrath of Yahawah Bashem Yahushai. We're in that cup stage right now where we're drinking of that cup. But this cup is almost done. We're almost through drinking from the cup. We're almost through being under the curses of Yahawah Bashem Yahushai. So when we come into the kingdom and we come into the immortal bodies and eternal life, guess what? There's no more bad times for the Israelites. All right? Verse 16, in that day it shall be said to Jerusalem, fear thou not, and to Zion, let not thine hands be slack. Right? We ain't got nothing to fear, man. We're going to be the cremo de la crapo. All right? Verse 17, Yahawah, thy power in the midst of thee is mighty. He will save. He will rejoice over thee with joy. He will rest in his love. He will joy over thee with singing. Right? And right now, that's what we're doing. The Israelites, especially the prophets, we're singing. Reading these scriptures, the scriptures is like it's a song. And what does it tell you in Revelation 14? It says the 144,000, which is the number of the prophets, was the only men who could learn that song. Well, in the kingdom, all of Israel is going to be singing the right song. But the lyrics won't be off. Like right now, they have a zeal, but not according to knowledge. So they're trying to sing the song, the Israelites, but a lot of them, 2/3, matter of fact, are singing the lyrics wrong. In other words, they're teaching wrong. The way they think about God and about the Messiah, it's all wrong. They have the lyrics. Somebody taught them the lyrics wrong, and really, you can blame all the heathen nations for our people being in that state of slumber, that state of darkness, and not knowing and understanding this truth. But the Lord's prophets, we're singing that song correctly. Let's grab that real quick. Meaning we're teaching the Bible correctly. All right? So it says, Revelation 14:3, it says, and they sung as it were a new song before the throne and before the four beasts and the elders, And no man could learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. So no one right now can learn this song. The song is the scriptures, the Bible. No one can learn the song except for his prophets, his servants, the prophets. In verse 4, let's read this. These were they which were not defiled with women, and women is a metaphor for philosophies or false doctrines, for they are virgins, and we're not virgins in the sense that we have never had sex, but we're virgins because we're pure with our doctrine, with our knowledge. These are they which follow the Lamb is Yahawah, whithersoever he goeth. These were redeemed from among men, being the firstfruits unto the Most High and to the Lamb. So yeah, that's one of our titles, one of the titles of the Lord's prophets. His servants, the prophets, are the first fruits. All right. But again, we are the ones who are singing this song correctly right now. Everybody else is got to listen to this choir, right? We're singing it. You better listen. Let you have that verse that comes to mind. Let me grab it. Because, let's see, 17. Let's see. Let's go to Matthew 11. Since I'm talking about us singing this song. It says here, I'll start at 15. He that has ears to hear, let him hear. And this is Yahawah speaking. But whereunto shall I liken this generation? It is like unto children sitting in the markets and calling unto their fellows, and saying, We have piped unto you, and ye have not danced. We have mourned unto you, and ye have not lamented. All right. So pipe, when it says we have piped unto you, like, it's a pipe is an instrument. So it deals with music, right? So we're those men who are piping with those instruments, right? Blow the trumpet, that's another metaphor, which means teach in the streets, teach loud, raise up your voice so that every man can hear you. And that's why we speak with authority and out loud in the street corners, in the chief place of concourse. And it says, and saying, we have piped unto you, and ye have not danced. So we're out there singing this song, but you Israelites, you're not dancing. Because why? You're you're not in the right spirit, right? We have mourned unto you, and ye have not lamented. So we're in a house of mourning. The true elect right now is the house of mourning. Because why are we mourning? Because even though we're singing the song and we're singing it correctly, it's a time of mourning because we look at the state of our people and they don't understand the Bible. They don't understand the truth. They don't understand what we're out there trying to portray to them, So that for us, that's a time of mourning. We're not going to, and it's going to be a time of mourning until we enter into the kingdom, you see. So let's go back to Zephaniah 3. Again, goes back to us singing this song. We're out here piping, we're singing, but y'all ain't dancing. You see? Verse 18. I will gather them that are sorrowful for the solemn assembly, who are of thee, to whom the reproach of it was a burden. Behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee, and I will save her that halteth, and gather her that was driven out. And I will get them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame. So that's dealing with the Israelites. Because who was driven out and dispersed into all the nations is the Israelites. You see? Verse 20. At that time will I bring you again, even in the time that I gather you. For I will make you a name and a praise among all people of the earth. Then I turn back your captivity before your eyes, saith Yahawah Bashem Yahushai. All right. And bring us back again where? Bring us back into our motherland, to the Jerusalem. We're going to be, that's going to be the home base, the Jerusalem, in what they call the Middle East, right? The Levant, right? Well, our people are going to be taken out of captivity. The ones that are wicked are going to die in the destruction, nuclear fire, but they're going to be brought back in the kingdom. They're going to be raised up properly, raised up in righteousness, and that's our captivity being turned back. All right, and gathering us. Right, some of us got to die by fire. The rest of us are going to be gathered by those chariots, what you call UFOs. Let's grab that, and then I'll close on that. Matthew, 24 and 31. It says, "And he shall send his angels." Well, I'm sorry, let me start at 30. "And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory." All right, so remember, the clouds are the chariots. If you go read Psalm 104 and verse 3, it tells you that the cloud, Yahawah makes the cloud his chariot. Okay, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man, which is Yahawah, coming in the clouds in the chariots of heaven with power and great glory. Because those chariots are not only are they beautiful, but they're powerful. Verse 31, "And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet," right? And those angels are the ones who are going to be manning those ships, like Esau has his blue angels, his jets that he's going to fight in World War III with, and it's going to be nuclear. Well, it's going to be a nuclear war, but he has those jets, right? Remember when Joe Biden, he said, if you want to fight with us, you better have some jets and some nuclear missiles, Well, that's what the angels, Esau has his angels, the so-called white man has his angels, and Yahawah, Ba'ashem Yahushai, also has his angels, which are those chariots. "And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect," which means elect means chosen. It goes back to the Greek word eklektos, "from the four winds and from one end of heaven to the other." All right. So the elect are going to be gathered. How does Yahawah turn away the captivity of the Israelites, of the chosen, the elect? By gathering us in those what you ignorantly call UFOs, but we know those are the chariots of Yahawah, and that's what's going to be our salvation. And that's what it is. We're going to hide until the indignation pass inside those chariots. All right, so with that, I want to give all the praise, all the glory, all the honor unto Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Rikah Kodash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also want to acknowledge all the Akyam who are pushing this truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.